So we're back to the template now, and we checked 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually add an additional line. So how you do that is you right click. Nope, there we go. Click insert, and you're gonna put insert rows below because I want to do objective evidence 4. So I just copy this, paste it here, and I just change the number to 4. Insert rows below. It's the same. E4, and we're checking for compliance. Alright, so here we're just gonna write stock room, and then here's where we're gonna put, like, I guess you could say, like, which side we're looking at. So we're gonna put NGAS and then NGAS. We're gonna put box labeled 33057 to 33058. I actually think I did it a little bit different last year, but it's okay if you switch it up a little bit to make it look nicer or anything. So these ones, we actually, both of these were non-conforming, so we're gonna put not compliant. Not compliant. So I can't remember exactly how I worded it last time, so I'm just gonna use this one really quick. Oh, I guess I put it all under one. That's okay. I mean, you can do it, like, add an additional one. It's fine. Stuff from having errorless parts with no labels, parts incorrectly placed. So we're just gonna put but see how I, like, use it as a guideline? You don't have to do it exactly the same. It's okay if you change it up a little bit or even word it a little bit different, because you don't always have to copy word for word. So verified all parts were correctly labeled. So the reason that I'm putting it just like that is because I did verify that they were all correctly labeled, and they were all correctly labeled. So I'm just gonna leave that brief little statement like that, and then I'm gonna put parts, the incorrect parts were found in this box. I don't like how that sounds. Parts were found to be placed in the wrong part box. Box for part number 33060 found. Stock room found to be uncontrolled. That's how I kind of worded it. So the reason that I'm putting that is because pretty much the two findings were both non-conforming. That there was not one thing that we found that was conforming. So then on this one, we're pretty much just doing the same thing. So verified that all parts. Oh, you kind of want to you kind of want to reference everything that you had to check. So the parts were correctly labeled. We found the wrong parts, and we're going to put verified that all parts were sealed. Because from what I can remember, this box only had parts that were in boxes, and they were correctly sealed. Verified all parts were correctly labeled and legible. Were correctly labeled and legible. If it's like for the same thing, it's okay if it's like worded pretty much the same, because these ones had two different things. Like these ones didn't have rubber bands, so that's the only thing that would be different on this one.
But
So,
you just put the specific parts that were
Yeah.
that you found that were fake. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So
Okay.
this one is stock room as well. NGX box labeled. It was 35101 235 228. So I'm actually just gonna copy this. And legible. One waffle pack was found without rubber band, and one container also found without rubber band. So we're done with that section. So we're going to go down to here, summary of audit trails and sources of evidence. So one of the things that you're going to be using for this too, just in case like, you know, you forget the form numbers, because I don't remember all the form numbers, you can go to the master list to see the forms, like, and all their document numbers and all that. So if you don't want to do that though, you can just go ahead and I'm going to copy and paste that part there. Or actually, I'm just going to copy and paste this whole thing for now, just because it's a little bit easier. I don't want to keep going back and forth because it's kind of hard to see. So we're going to put ours on the top here for this. So the only thing that's going to stay the same is this part. The rest, you kind of want to reword it a little bit or move stuff around. But this one stays the same because the objective evidence stays the same. Like we used the PO cover sheet, or not in this case, but the PO cover sheet would be one of them. The sales order and then the job ticket doesn't have a form number, so you just put job ticket. And job travelers have been used as objective evidence on this one. I just realized that this is wrong. I'm gonna have to tell Ryan about this one. Because I think he should have put all customer requests and quality clauses from PO are flowed down to the job traveler. That's why we have the PO cover sheet. But anyways, all customer information requests and quality clauses are being flowed down to job traveler and sales order, except for quality information of data being shipped to customer and x-rays. So for this one, we're just gonna put all of the customers. How can I spell customers? Customers, quality clauses were confirmed to have been flowed down the job traveler. Let me see if this one actually. Okay, yeah, good. Go down to the job travelers. So let's see, the next one is. So actually, one thing that I forgot. It's fine because we're reading this, right? It's fine if you miss something and like you're reading it and then you're like, okay, let me go back and you redo it. So on this one thing that I kind of forgot was, so okay, we're seeing that it is flowed down here, right? Sometimes they have other special requirements. This one doesn't, but this one does. See? Customer source, one date, lot code, serial numbers, and special certs, which actually go along with these down here. But some of the quality notes are just numbers, like letters and numbers, and it doesn't tell us exactly what it is. But Carlos, I believe, did this one probably, yeah, because Carlos is really good at putting everything here. Not to throw anyone under the bus, but Carlos is pretty much the only one that does include this information here. So you'll find some that don't say ship with the parts, you know. This one tells you the -31, the data, and the -85 to ship it. This one though actually does too. But you'll find some that don't say anything at all. See, like this one? It doesn't say anything at all. So that'd be something that you ding them. But she did put it on this one. So we're gonna actually go ahead and add that here. So customer clauses were flowed down to the traveler. I'm gonna put verified that, how did I word it before? Okay. So we're gonna put verified that the request for data request is being flowed down to the job ticket, because this is a job ticket. And that's pretty much it actually for that part that we kind of missed right there, or well, that I missed. So then down here, see, that's what I'm saying, like you kind of have to look at the work instructions and kind of know. I'm not really familiar with their instructions, but her and I are familiar with material control, so we know a little bit of what needs to go on here. So like we know that this needs to be here, and we know that the ship date has to be down here. Like this one, it just tells us that early delivery is accepted and desired. So pretty much whenever it's ready, it's okay to ship it. It doesn't have to have a specific ship date. So on here, we're gonna put all the customers' quality clauses were confirmed to have been flowed down the traveler. Verified that the job tickets show when to ship data with the parts. So the only thing that we would put here is the stock room. The stock room was found to not be kept under control and in order. So in this case, we would look at the work instruction because the stock room was found, you know, not in an orderly fashion. So what we would check is the stock room. So we'll see when it was effective by. So this has been effective since 6/4/2020. And it says that it has to be checked for once a month because you kind of have to figure out why it wasn't orderly. So in this case, there was really no reason for it not to be under control.
Someone just put it
You
in
know?
the wrong place there.
So what we would do is you can either verbally let Yolanda know about the nonconformities that were found, and then, or you can also email her and let her know, hey, you know, I found this out of order or whatever. Just give her your findings. So then you're gonna put here, so the stockroom was found to not be kept under control and in order. So let's pretend that we did notify Yoli, right? So we're gonna put material control manager was made aware of non-conformities, and then we're gonna open up corrective action. So for this one, I know for a fact there should be a corrective action because there was no reason for it to be not kept under control, you know. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. But now we have to go to the car log and open one. Where's the RCCA? Is that pass it? It's probably gonna be in the Word folder. There it is. RCCA. So before we do it or put it on there, we have to see what the next sequential number would be. So the next one would be 0341. And then we put today's date, 6/25/2020, and we're gonna put internal. Oh, did we do this one as an example one and we never? Yeah, I delete that. We'll do it. I'll do it later. The job number. So for this one, actually,
Can you just update the date if you want?
on this one,
Yeah, and just
use that one as an example.
yeah, that was an example.
Delete that. So we'll do that one. 6/25/20. So what I kind of started to do, because I was like, just so I know, like, because it just says internal. We never know like what exactly it's for when you go back and stuff. So what I actually did on these ones was I put like which department it was for. So this one was for MC material control, and there's no job number that goes with it, so that stays blank. There's no part number specifically. There's no purchase order, no follow-up date as of now. Ryan will let us know if we need a follow-up or not, or if you think that we need a follow-up later, which for the stockroom, I think that's actually pretty important. So I might do like a follow-up a month from now, which there actually is a follow-up on this, but I haven't even had the time to go in the stockroom to fix all that stuff. But so let's do follow-up a month from now. So 7/25/20, and we're gonna mark this as open. So we're gonna save that for now. Go back into it in a sec. So the stockroom was found to not be kept under control and in order. Material control manager was made aware of nonconformities. A corrective action. Oops. Action has been open for this non-conformity. And then you just put the document number. So RCCA 0340 was one, and there. Let's say we needed to update that work instruction though, we would put that in here too. So updated work instruction, I forget which one it is, M004 I think it was. And then you can put kind of like a brief description as to what you fixed it to. And if you haven't updated it, well, actually you would have to update it right then and there. So you would just put like the change that you made, like added this note to section 4.3, and then you would put what you put on there. But that one could stay like that. So then you'd be done. Well, no, just kidding. You go down here, and since there was a nonconformity found, let's see where we're gonna place this one. So we know it's not gonna be here. So we're gonna go here. Plan results not achieved, but appropriate action is being taken. It would be this one, because this one says appropriate action not taken. But since we opened up a car, appropriate action is being taken. So planned activities fully realized, planned activities not fully realized, Planned activities not realized. So I'm gonna say it's not this one because to me the planned activities were not fully realized because the stockroom was not kept under control. So I'm gonna put this one because it was not fully realized. You know, there were still some things that were correct in there. It was in a complete mess, you know. So I'm gonna put this one because that's what I believe that it is. Planned activities not fully realized. So then I'll put my name here. So I'm the one that did this one, and then Ryan should add his probably when he checks it. And then here for material control, we would put what's her name? Suarez, I think. I don't know, you can just check the last names. And then I know that Leslie Perez, right?
No, wait.
Plasencia.
Yeah.
Plasencia. And it would be like that. And that's it. And I like to clean my stuff up and make it look good. So
Do you, and then like when you save it, like what's the file name that you save it as? Yeah.
Oh, well, actually, because it was already in the folder that I wanted it, I'm just gonna delete
Yeah,
this.
but you just have to rename it to something other than template, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the only difference is I just removed the whole template part. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't really say that it needs to have any specific name or anything like that, so I didn't do anything specific with it. I mean, if you want, I guess you could put the year too at the end.
Or date? No. Oh, it's already dated.
Something
Technically.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's why I'm just like, I just leave it as, I think the one that I did last year, I just left it as a name. I just took off template, see? I just left it like that. Nothing was said, so
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I'm trying to think what else. Any questions for anything so far?
No.
No?
Yeah,
Everything good?
video is pretty much capturing everything.
Okay, well, I think we're good on that one then.
Okay.